So Optimus is this commentary channel where he's got like some video games in the background and he just kind of talks about stuff. I used to watch him a lot, but I'm not watching him as much. But he exists. He does stuff. He's, in my opinion, I think Optimus is probably center-right politically. I know he's a really big fan of Joe Rogan, and that's kind of where Joe Rogan is on the political spectrum. He's like center-right at best. Joe Rogan has a lot of really wacky people on his podcast, like Alex Jones, for example. Really, Candace Owens, I think. I don't know. He has had Ben Shapiro. He's had whack people. I don't like the people he has on his podcast. Jordan Peterson, just conservatives. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this video. This video, your favorite YouTuber isn't liberal enough, and it's Xanderhal, my boy. So let's see what he shows of Xanderhal, the clip that he doesn't like. Let's talk about it.
It's chock full of some stuff that I want to react to, so let's go ahead and get into it.
Leftists need to infiltrate the YouTube drama community. The
Full
YouTube
screen
drama
doesn't work.
community
Oh, there
is
we go.
at best marginally center-left leaning, and at worst full-on like reactionary alt-right, like with Keemstar.
Okay, so we got that statement right there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We need to infiltrate the YouTube drama scene. We need to speak.
Pause, please. Okay. So what Xanderhal is saying is we need to get into other communities and help share our ideas. It's basically what he's saying. The word infiltrate really fucked him on this one. He shouldn't have used that word. It makes him sound rather harsh, but I think for the most part that clip's okay. Now Optimus doesn't like this. He doesn't, I mean, he complains about the word infiltrate a lot, which I can understand. Another thing about Optimus is that he doesn't like how everything is political. I mean, we could actually listen to him a little bit.
Creators who at best are marginally left, center left, or they're alt-right like Keemstar, that's something that I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of people say that
Keemstar is alt-right. He's been on the Kill stream. That's a neo-Nazi stream. And he was also in the Coping MAGA video we saw where Keemstar, Crowder said nope. And then Keemstar said another thing, basically like the election was false. He said that on Twitter. He's a big Trumper. Keemstar is a big Trumper. He's pretty conservative. And being on the Kill stream, if you're on that stream, you're alt-right. It's that simple. Yeah, Keemstar said they're cheating. That's what he said. He said they're cheating. There's no evidence to back up that they're cheating. It's pretty conspiratorial. You have no mainstream evidence for it. Nothing from Reuters, NPR, CNN, Vox, NBC, MSNBC. Even on Fox, they don't even have anything really about that. So that's pretty much conspiratorial. Conspiracy right-wingers are pretty much considered alt-righters. Optimus is just blatantly wrong here.
Alt-right, like it's almost like a buzz term that they use to describe Keemstar.
A buzz
But I just
term?
want to go ahead and say this.
It's just a term. I don't like how people claim things are buzzwords. I think that it's really stupid to call anything a buzzword. It's just a word, dude. It's just a word. Get over it. If anyone calls something a buzzword, they're usually triggered about that word, and it's quite annoying, honestly.
Center left, right? Okay, this guy maybe a little spot on with that. Let's go ahead and consider the following here, all right? Not everyone has to be in the same political ideology that you are, okay? Not everyone has to think just like you. That's something that most people
So this is essentially what Optimus is saying. He thinks that Xanderhal wants everyone to think like him. He wants, like he said, infiltrate, pretty much take over, and he's doing all of this for political gain. When if you watch Xanderhal's video, which I'm not gonna show it, you can watch it. I'm not gonna take more people's content. Pretty much, if you watch Xander's video, he's like, listen, dude, it's my job to talk about politics, okay? That's my job, okay? So I look at everything through a political lens. And Optimus doesn't understand this at all. He doesn't understand that Xanderhal is looking through things from a political perspective, and he doesn't, that's reasonable. If it's your job, yeah, you're obviously going to look at things that most people wouldn't interpret from a political angle politically. So that's the first thing that Optimus has a problem with. The next thing Xanderhal said was that he looks up to these creators. He's not trying to like manipulate them. He just wants to talk to them. He just wants to have a conversation, share his arguments with them. He's not trying to convert them necessarily. He's trying to talk to people, see what they think, spread what he thinks to people that he likes. And the third thing is, Xanderhal really likes the people that he's trying to talk to. He really looks up to them. He's a big fan of them. Because politics is his job, yeah, like that's pretty interesting when you do politics for a living, you talk about politics for a living, it's pretty interesting to watch other creators that aren't overtly political and think, where are they politically, right? Where's Optimus politically? What does he think about this issue? That's pretty interesting if you like politics, and there's nothing wrong with that. Optimus has a big problem with it. He's really angry in this video. If you watch it, I think at the end too, like if we watch a little bit at the end, he's really angry. He's really mad.
Xanderhal here, who I've talked to several times personally, you know what I'm saying? When you're flexing a follow of his on Twitter, under the only pretense of it like mattering to you being the fact that you're going to try and manipulate him and quote unquote infiltrate the commentary.
He keeps saying infiltrate. He thinks that Xanderhal's trying to manipulate him.
Not only does that come off extremely weird and cringy, but it comes off as extremely disingenuous. Because at the end of the day, Mutahar is a really cool person. Like, and I'm not just saying that. I've talked to Mutahar several times. He is a fucking dope person. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube. I've had zero political discussions with him, and I'm assuming at the end of the day, considering the fact that he lives in Canada and not the United States as well, it's really not something he gives a fuck about. Or if he does...
Also, Canadians don't care about American politics. Big oof. Big oof. But this is what Optimus is saying. He's really mad. He thinks that Xanderhal's trying to manipulate Mutahar, aka some ordinary gamers, when Xanderhal just wants to talk to him. Just wants to say, hey, where are you politically? This is where I am politically. I want to see what you think, and I'll share what I think. And I think that's really cool. Optimus doesn't agree. He's mad. He thinks Xanderhal's malicious. He's bad, whatever. You can watch Xanderhal's video about it if you want to. That would help. But while we're here, we're gonna stop talking about Optimus since we're pretty much done. We're gonna talk about Nux Taku because Optimus, this is gonna be part of the same segment, by the way. Optimus doesn't understand that everything is in some way political. You can look at anything from a political lens. Anything. Even VTubers, right? So we're looking at Nux Taku, and he is talking about how toxic people are harassing VTubers, and I'm just gonna play a short little bit from his latest video here to show you what I'm talking about.
There are many other people that forget that VTubers are people. In fact, something that really scared me about this whole Project Melody getting banned drama is that all the news articles and news outlets that started talking about it, because obviously they're going to talk about it, Project Melody banned. They don't refer to Melody as she. None of them. They don't even decide to go super progressive and refer to her as they. They refer to Melody as it. She's treated like an object, not only by people, but by news outlets. They call her an AI, they call her an it, and it's disgusting that this is the prevailing mentality that so many people seem to have. I never liked the idea of ranking YouTubers against each other, because at the end of the day, YouTubers are people. I understand you don't like someone's content, don't watch the content, but saying that, oh, this YouTuber is better than that YouTuber, you suck because that YouTuber is better, that's kind of disgusting, and quite frankly, I don't see a lot of people do it. You see people ranking anime characters and waifus, but for the most part, people try not to rank people, because at the end of the day, people can have their feelings hurt, and people don't want to necessarily do that unless they're cruel, toxic assholes. I don't know anyone like that, but if I did know someone like that, they would rank people. VTubers get rankings. Oh, you're not my favorite VTuber. That person's my favorite VTuber. You're just a bad VTuber. Bargain basement that VTuber. VTubers aren't treated as people by way too...
So that's what I wanted to bring up. This is a political issue. Believe it or not, this is a political issue. Questioning the humanity of people. It is in some way political. The way Nux Taku brought up the pronouns of Project Melody and how the news articles disgustingly referred to her as it and classified her as an AI, that's political. People's identities are political. This also goes back to Xanderhal saying that he wants to engage in more communities. He's not in touch with the anime community at all, and so this is something that I really want to get into, the anime community. And Nux Taku's political positions, I'm really curious about. I really wonder what he thinks, because he has thoughts and expressions about politics. He knows about stuff going on. He was on Twitter talking about how Trump was complaining, and that was pretty funny. But I really wonder what he thinks about certain issues. Like he said in this very video, they could be super progressive and use the pronoun they. So this indicates to me that to Nux Taku, the word they as a pronoun is super progressive to him. So I wonder if he's maybe a centrist, maybe he's more of a libertarian. I don't know. I really don't know. That would be something really interesting to talk with him about. I wonder if when I inevitably do become a VTuber, my model is being made and I will be able to afford the rigging of my model. So that'll happen eventually, maybe in like December. When that inevitably happens and hopefully I start growing and picking up traction because of that, if Nux Taku notices me as a trans VTuber, I would be really interested in talking with him. I think that would be such a fascinating discussion to see what does he think of a trans VTuber. Because I know he likes VTubers, but if one is trans, is that going to bother him? I don't know. I personally don't think so. I think he's probably a rather chill dude. And for him to defend the humanity of VTubers, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Sticking up for someone's pronouns is essentially what he's doing. That's good. So it all kind of comes together. You know, Xanderhal saying we gotta talk with more communities. I want to talk to the anime community. Xander wants to get with the drama community. Optimus is mad that everything is political and he doesn't realize that everything is political and you could find some way to, and it's just a lot, like people's identities, trans people, that's political. I don't know why, but it is. Everything's political, and that's okay. You don't have to like it. You don't have to hate it. It's whatever. You can just let it be that way, I guess. There's nothing you can really do about everything being political, but yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's good, and I just think it's really interesting. Politics don't have to be just Dem versus Republican and policies. Politics also has to do with social learnings. Yes, that is very true. I think what Optimus is getting confused is that he thinks that talking, oh, I like Trump, I like Biden, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, like that's political. That's political. The Quartering said something to that effect where he was like, go find a cute girl and go vote with her. Don't make it political. Just make it a cool, fun date experience thing. And I don't know how you can make voting not political. I really don't. Like even if you don't say who you're voting for, it's an inherently political situation to express your right to vote. That is political. And it's just a lot of people don't like to acknowledge that. So I thought it was cool to bring it up. And that's basically that segment.